CDC out and stunting, yeah. Line up thick like dumpling.
CDC Festival 2022. This is Chiara. We are in Berlin with some special guests from the cast of our beautiful theater piece this year. Something very exclusive. For the first time in Europe, from then till now, the first dancehall musical. Professor Orville, art director and scripter of the musical. And Shanice, Xpressionz. Sorry. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing great.
Professor, welcome back in Berlin.
Yeah, man, it's always a joy to be here, you know?
I wanted to talk with you about this beautiful project that we were able to bring to Berlin, because it's something very unique. It's something that we have seen for the first time on the opening day of the festival, and I want to have, of course, some background information and some insiders information about how did the project come up and how was working all together during this 2 weeks here in Berlin. So this is when was produced for the first time?
It was about 15 or 16 years ago. It was produced. We got a show to do in Boston, Massachusetts, and we wanted to take something that is not just about dancehall. So we created a piece that would show the evolution of the music and dance, you know, where we're coming from. Because people have a tendency to believe that it's just about reggae or dancehall. So to be able to express with traditional folk forms and the things that came before dancehall, we think it would be the best thing to do to try to coin something together. So it was about 15 minutes when we just started it, and then we realized that people were so into it because there were so many Jamaicans living abroad that they found it very nostalgic. You know, them said, whoa, we didn't remember these songs, and when you did this dance, we remember back in the 70s and remember the 60s. So we said, all right, let us see how much more we can add to it to make it a bigger production. And then the magic started happening when we started doing research and finding the music. There were so many old music that we don't hear anymore in dancehall, we don't hear anymore in the Jamaican space. So we said, let us use this opportunity to bring back these songs, you know, and the history.
So since then, it was showcased in the US and in Jamaica too?
Yeah, so it started in the US as a 15-minute piece, and it was produced in Jamaica, but the full script was written when myself and Shelly was in Tanzania. We spent 4 days there, and there was just a certain amount of spiritual energy that was happening in Tanzania at the time. So I wrote a full script because it was heavily dance when we started it, but then we started adding music that was produced by Dance Xpressionz, and we started adding dialogue. Yeah.
The special part of this production was also that you collaborate. You came from Jamaica with your cast, and then you collaborate with dancers from the diaspora and dancers coming from Ghana. So in the last 2 weeks, you were in Berlin rehearsing and putting together this beautiful piece of culture with dancers and actors who have never had experienced dancehall and firsthand in Jamaica, probably. How was to be all together, working all together for the first time?
At first, when the first rehearsal, it was a little bit nervous because I'm used to working with my peers. Yeah, because I've been on the show not just now, but when it produced in Jamaica, I was on it. So I'm used to being with my peers. So when I say, oh, we're going to work with someone from Ghana, we're going to work with someone from Italy, I was like, wow. It was just wow. And then when we got to the rehearsal, everybody was like, we were family already. Like, we know each other from a long time. Yofi and E-Flex, they were like very, very cool. Like, they know us from before seeing us now. And even Carlin, she was really, really, I don't know if Orville and Shelly know Carlin, but it was first time I'm meeting her. And everybody was like, we know each other's before, we're just linking up back to do a great piece together. So the rehearsals, they were fun. Everybody take corrections from Professor, and it just went smoothly. So that's how we get to create that lovely piece on the stage.
This is in fact what I also was saying to Eflex and Yofi, that you look like a crew who have been working together since forever, and that was the special energy on stage. It was, of course, for us, not belonging to the Jamaican culture, a beautiful piece to learn more about the history of music and dance. What was your favorite scene? Let's say you were more about the mento and early days, or the dancehall part?
My favorite scene is Kumina.
Okay.
Like, as much as I am a new school dancer and all of that, Kumina make me accept dancehall for what it is now, because the spirit, and to know that certain things that in Kumina, when you tell you about the sky spirit and the ground spirit, and being in dancehall, when I do certain things, I used to wonder in my head, why when certain music play, I just want to climb, and not knowing that it's the dancing spirit telling you to do this and do that. Sometimes you reach places and you don't even know how you get there. You're like, oh, I'm going to come down. So my favorite piece is the Kumina, because you get to understand more and you learn. Kumina teach you a lot. I'm still learning. I am. But Kumina, it teach you a lot, and it make me accept my genre and my era that I'm in now.
And the perfect person to ask about Kumina, for those who are not familiar with the term, is for sure Professor Hall. Orville, can you tell us a bit about these genres and how it is linked in the roots of Jamaican culture?
All right, we have a number of traditional folk forms that come out of Jamaica, but many of them are European influence, because the slaves would try to mimic their slave masters. But Kumina is the one that came straight from Africa to us. So we got it from the Congo. So this is how we try to develop Kumina, so people can understand that this is what we used to do on the shores of the continent. So because of this now, when we're presenting a piece like this, we want people to see the most authentic part of it, something that was not touched by European hands. There was no influence. The drums and the fact that it is not just about a music and a dance, but it's a whole lifestyle. It's really how we, it's for different ceremonies, for birth, it's for death, it's for what they call a night, it's for weddings. So when there's a Kumina session in Jamaica, in certain sections that whole Kumina there, it is really about a complete community development. The whole community comes together when there's a marriage, and then it is important to understand how the waistline works. It's important to understand how a dancer can go into what we call a mile. That is when an ancestral spirit takes over the person, and that is why when persons see Kumina and see the role that Xpressionz plays, she plays the queen mother. This is the person that oversees everything that happens there. If a dancer goes into a mile, she has to know how to take that mile, that spirit out of that person, dance it out of that person. So she's the great overseer. So when you look at the piece, the role that she plays with the rum and spraying the rum on the dancers and paying homage to the drummers. But if you notice, the drummers are in the center, a circle is danced around the drummers. So all these things are traditionally what Kumina is, and there is no way we could do a piece like this without showing our most authentic traditional folk form.
Apart from the history and of course the dance part, I found you, all of you, especially Shelley, very hilarious and very talented as actress. So really, I pay my respect to the First Lady, and I really like how you also take time to showcase the different stage of dancehall from the 90s till today, and you brought on stage Cool Ravers and Craig from Black Eagles, who are some of the most innovative new school dancers that we have, and we have fortunately also in this camp. You have found a very beautiful collaboration with the Afro dancers, and I think you have learned a lot from each other.
Yes.
But dancehall is something that nowadays maybe could be. How can I say, like, there is a lot of attention on Afro music and dance, which is amazing, and that's the return to the give back to the heritage and learning from the African roots. But what do you see for the future of dancehall, taking into consideration that the new school is offering so many talents here and also among the guests, not only the guests of this festival? Are you optimistic, though? So, like, sum up my question. Are you optimistic about the evolution of dancehall?
I'm optimistic. I only wish there were more persons like me who are what you'd consider to be elder statesmen that would help to guide the process of foundation dancehall and have the younger generation understand more. So when they go out into the public, they don't only talk about new school, but they're able to link what they're doing to old school dancehall as well, so they can have a stronger understanding about it. That's all. But I'm optimistic because we have talented dancers that's been traveling the world, and they're keeping the name dancehall out there, but they need to have some link. Just talking to the African dancers, the two dancers from Ghana, you can see how they're still linked to, they do on the show, they do a thing called a Zonto mashup. So they're taking from the roots and showing us where we're going with it. And they are young dancers, so I'm optimistic because I have Shanice and I have Sashi, who are young dancers, but they are extremely knowledgeable about old school dancehall. So I can feel safe that when they go out there, it will be passed on.
Yeah, definitely a brilliant crew. And Miss Caterpillar, what's your view for the future of dancehall? And you belong to the future of dancehall.
Well, for the future, I would like to say I would love to see more females travel, because a lot of male traveling, and it pains my heart when a female song is playing and I see my females them standing up. So I would like to see more females travel.
Thank you for your time. Sunday we will have the second and last showcase from then till now here at CDC Festival. I really hope that the world will get the chance to see this beautiful piece of theater, and why not being booked more time in Europe so we can see each other. Thank you very much for your time.
Respect.
Yeah.